Good evening and welcome to Undoing I Do with Stephanie and a Day. I'm Stephanie Hunnell, the owner of the Hunnell Law Group in Asbury Park, New Jersey, and your co-host for this evening.
And I am Adelola Sherilyn Dow, the owner of the law offices of Adelola Sherilyn Dow in Staten Island, New York. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. I got to try to psych myself up for some energy today.
It's so dreary outside, and perhaps that's why we're supposed to be in the middle of soon-to-be summer, and I guess that was last week.
Week. We got like a day last week. That's all we got.
So we're just going to talk about whatever we talk about. What'd you say? You're supposed to get a tan. Girl, I got that permanent tan life, so, you know.
You wouldn't know.
We're going to talk about whatever we want to talk about today, including tanning and vacations and all that other stuff. We're just going to talk about whatever. But there are some Black people who go tanning. I don't know any, but I've heard that there are.
Really? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Maybe some light skin. Maybe. I'm about to go tanning soon myself because, you wouldn't know I'm Mexican. I'm not going to be
Maybe if you just get some sun, you don't have to go. What'd you say?
I said I'm not going to be able to use the hashtag POC anymore.
Right? We're about to take away your person of color card. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I've never even been in the tanning salon. I mean, I've never been to one, and I never knew any friends who tanned.
So I went in one years and years ago, and it was like you're just laying there for a few minutes, and then all of a sudden you have like a little color to you. But I do know a couple of people who do go and have already gone this year.
So, I mean, do these people get like actually tan or do they get orange? Because there's a difference to me, and I don't see the appeal to the whole orange.
I think the orange has to do with like some kind of stuff that they put on before you tan.
Oh,
like an activator or something. So
an activator.
Yeah, I think so. I don't
know.
Like
a Jerry curl activator? You know how back in the day there was a Jerry curl activator? Did you hear that comment?
I did not.
Good. I'm not going to repeat the comment. There was a comment from my own peanut gallery over here about a certain president who wasn't told something, but it's okay. We don't have to go
orange.
Yeah, we don't have to dignify it.
I was thinking about Jerry curl because they just they did a second Coming to America.
Have you seen it? I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it was okay. It was funny. But if you remember, one of the leads was the Jerry curl guy. Oh God, I can't remember his name. So Glow. He would just like drip. And not drip in a good way.
Listen, and Jerry curl used to stink. Like if you ever went to a salon or people were getting their hair Jerry curled, it was like, I don't even think it was sulfur. It just smelled horrible. Like, why would you do this to your hair? I mean, you have to wear a gas mask in order to complete the process.
Yep. So when I was in my 20s, I used to do those straight perms, and I'm quite a bit older where they're not the same way that they were now. Rich sister way.
Came through dripping, drip, drip. Came through dripping. Okay, I don't have the rights to that song. I don't own the rights to that song.
But so I did that straight perm, and it was like I had to go to like Chinatown or something, and it smelled so bad. And then they start doing the straightener through it, and it's just you have to sit there like this.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, black girls who haven't gone natural. I'm natural now, but before I cut my hair off, I used to get a relaxer. So
Mhm.
some people call it a perm, some people call it a relaxer, but the technical term I guess is a relaxer because perms curl your hair.
Mhm.
And so, you get your relaxer, and a lot of people are like, wait, okay, is it burning yet? Because if it's not burning, then my hair's not straight. My hair's not straight
Oh,
if it's not burning. I need to. And I'm like, really? If your scalp is burning, it is time to rinse that junk out. Please save your scalp. It is not worth it. Have you ever seen the movie Good Hair, which was done by oh my God, what's his name? Chris Rock. Thank you, Peanut Gallery.
no. I have not.
Chris Rock did this whole movie called Good Hair, and he chronicled the reasons why Black people, Black women in particular, process their hair, wear weaves, and all of this other stuff. And there is this scene where he goes to this religious place in India where the women are shaving their head as part of a ritual, right? And he's like, so okay, this is the hair that's being used in order to create weaves. Cool. Then, like, you see him going around to different hair places in like either Brooklyn or wherever. So, where they have these Black hair stores, and he's trying to sell Black people's hair. And he's like, how come nobody's buying this hair? I don't understand. Y'all are paying $600 for bundles, but you're not going to just buy this hair right here. So, but he talks about, they talk about how much money Black women spend on their hair and things like that. And I'm like, I used to always be that woman in the hair salon. I would be in the hair salon every single week.
Oh, wow.
But that was a lot of coin.
Yeah. I could imagine. That's a lot. I mean, a lot of I don't even like to do my nails because I don't have the time commitment. I don't want to sit there and do it. And it's a lot of money. You have to keep it all up.
You gotta keep it up. Like, I do my nails, but I don't do them. Some people go to the nail salon every week or every other week. I don't have the time for that. If I go every 3 weeks or once a month, then that's pretty good. But I don't go every week. I don't. Yeah. And I don't find it to be relaxing either.
Right. Going to the hair salon once a week had to be rough too.
That was. I am, I miss going to the salon, but now I just live a barber life, and my barber does my color. And during the pandemic, it was awesome because I didn't have to worry about my hair being jacked up because I just shaved it straight off. It was awesome.
Very liberating, I'm sure.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about exercise and wrapping up your hair and all of this stuff. Oh, yeah. I can get in the pool. It's great. Freedom.
Freedom. Speaking of freedom, vacations. Anything on the horizon?
I need a vacation ASAP. My mother is turning 70 next month, and we're supposed to be taking a trip to the Caribbean. And so long as little guy's passport is in, then we should be able to be out. But I am really looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to getting away. I haven't had a vacation in like a real vacation in a long while.
Yeah. The work that we do also, and not everybody, I think everybody needs to take vacations and take time away and unwind and disconnect from social media and all of like everything. But I think like with family law in particular, I find that if we don't take a pretty regular vacation, the stress level gets more difficult. It's more difficult to tolerate some of these things that happen, in people's real lives they're very stressed about that. I personally like have this tolerance level that's there. I haven't been on a vacation in a while, so I snap on a couple people.
Yeah. Yeah. I know about that. I know about snapping on people.
Hi, John.
Hey, John. John says he's here so we can relax. We need to go on vacation with John. That's what we need to do.
On a really nice vacation.
Yeah, John, are you still on vacation? Because that looked like a lot of fun.
It did. I want to like
Yeah,
run and see.
would you say even more stressful if you're married? You know what? Rich, rich is the bomb.com. That's what
Hey, you haven't seen our relationship this week.
Yeah, there's weeks like that. So, yeah, we're just going to let that slide. All married people have weeks like that. And believe it or not, Stephanie and I don't think that you should come running to us after you have a week or two of a poor relational experience.
No, do not rush into a divorce lawyer every chance just because there's a fight.
No, just make it up. Make it up. But John said, so John, my neighbor has an RV and I just don't know how I feel about it because I feel like my neighbor's RV is bigger than his whole driveway. I don't even think he can fit it in the driveway. As a matter of fact, it's one of my pet peeves because I really like a nice lawn. And every time I pass by this guy's lawn, it's like the lawn is dug in because he can't fit the RV in the driveway. So are there ports or something where you can park your RV and pay these people? I'm just wondering about that. John, what kind of RV? We need pictures because do you have one of them pimp my ride RVs? Do you have one of those few $1 million RVs? Because if that's the case, I'm coming. You remember that show? It was like an HGTV show. It was like these bomb RVs that people were spending like $500,000 on.
Yeah. Nuts with all these little hidden features.
Yeah, that's true. You do have space. Yeah, you do. John says he lives in Jackson. So if anybody who doesn't know, biggest thing about Jackson is an ocean, and great thing about Jackson is that the homes usually are built on some nice size lots. Yeah. Really nice size lots. So John could have all of us living on his property and we'd be cool.
He probably has 2 RVs in his driveway.
He said it's nice, but not that nice. Yeah. So you have any plans for vacation?
I might be going to Hawaii. We'll see.
Now that's a vacation.
Yeah. Well, my sister lives there, and I haven't seen her in a couple years now. And so we might stop in LA, visit my dad, and then go and visit my sister. So that'll be fun. We'll see. I'm looking at tickets in September or something.
Yeah, because tickets during this time of year are probably ridiculous. So I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking actually to go sooner, but the tickets are just ridiculous. They went from being next to nothing to go. Now they're quadruple the price.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. I would just phone a friend. See, because one thing about me is that I am very frugal. I am so frugal. Even if I upgrade my ticket, I will upgrade my ticket the night before, or I'll upgrade my ticket once I get to the airport. Because I'm not about that. Because they're straight up trying to rip people off. No. Okay, and when they weren't serving food in first class, what was the ticket so expensive for? Why was it so expensive? Y'all not serving food.
You couldn't get a drink.
They're trying to make up for lost revenue. They are insane. Listen, we're about to all be up in John's RV. We're gonna go to the border, okay, of wherever. We're about to be up in John's RV. He's gonna drive us to Tijuana or whatever. We're about to have a flight from there, so that it's way cheaper to go from wherever we. Because it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people talk about lawyers. Come on now.
By the way, they don't really need to make up any revenue because they bumped up the gas prices when they said all the shortage and stuff on oil, and those prices never went down, not for a single minute. They charge bag fees, extra leg room fees. You want elbow room. You want a tray that's not.
You want to breathe? Next they're gonna charge you a "Do you want to breathe" fee.
I know. I'm sure they're trying to up the price too because they have to put the new filters in there.
That's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. I saw that private camps with you. Listen, were y'all really? Did would really sleep in the woods? Because, John, I'm bougie.
We had a bed in the RV. There's not in the woods. You know that. With the running
Like, was there
bathroom,
enough room
good
for
water.
everybody, though? Because I went to a place with my girlfriends, and I was like, "So you guys know I need my own room, right? I'm an only child. Well, I'm not an only. I was raised as an only child, but I'm actually the eldest of 5. But I was raised as an only child because all of my siblings are half siblings, and so yeah, and so they were like, "Yeah, so we know that Ade needs her own space, so we made it work." But I'm looking forward to a little bit of mental break vacation. Speaking about that, what about you said what is the theme today? We're just talking about whatever, John.
There's no theme today.
We're just talking about
Today's a
whatever. You want to talk, you want to yeah, whatever. And exactly. You what do you think about Naomi and French Open?
Oh, that's a good topic. I think it's amazing, first of all, that she can prioritize herself that way. I also think that hopefully she can actually change the sport a little bit, at least the way that, it's not even changing the sport, it's changing the media perception afterwards. Like, they get bombarded with all of these questions, especially when you lose. That's just, I mean, you have to deal with answering it 52 times. Why did you lose? Why did you miss that shot? So yeah, that's what I think. She's also didn't she do the masks also? She wore the masks of it was Naomi, right?
I think so. Either some black names or names of people who had been killed.
Well, it wasn't each person because she said there weren't enough days to like memorialize each person, unfortunately. But she did make that. That was pretty powerful.
Yeah, listen, this is what I feel about it. First of all, Naomi got that. Look, here's what a friend of mine said, Angela Barker, on a group that we all belong to. She was like, Naomi has that FU money, so I'm down with it. Like, what you gonna do to me? Oh, you gonna find me a little 15 grand? Here, take the 15 grand. Like, what? Like, I don't care. That's like with us being lawyers, somebody saying, well, I'm a sue. Okay, sue me then. Go ahead and sue me then. So what is John talking about? Because I know that his partner and Robin had this conversation the other night about Candace Owen and Chrissy Teigen, but I don't even know what it's about. I know who Chrissy Teigen is, but who is Candace Owens? Who that is? I don't know her. Who is she?
You know what? I don't know anything about, and I was going to tune in for a little bit, and I just got sidetracked. But I don't really know any. I know who they are. I just don't know anything about their cat fight.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look this up because I know that Previtt and Ross told us to look this up, and I didn't. I was slacking, and I'm like, who are these people, and what rich people problems do they have today? So I am going to look this up.
I know Chrissy Teigen just calls people out, so
let's see what this is about.
I love Angela too, John. Angela is great.
Angela is the truth.
You're not in that same group, but yeah, she was saying that she has this FU money. That's why she didn't care about the fines, didn't care about pulling out of the tournament. Yep.
Okay, Candace Owens launches Twitter attack on Chrissy Teigen over Courtney Stodden. Twitter users accuse Candace Owen of hypocrisy over cancel Chrissy Teigen. Oh God, this cancel culture stuff that I tell you. Owens joined the cancel culture movement against Teigen after it was revealed that the cookbook author once bullied former teen bride Courtney Stodden, going as far as to tell the reality TV star to commit suicide. Oh my God! Oh! In a private message on Twitter, where I had no idea. That is crazy. Page 6 is reporting that in response to the current backlash and public outcry, 3 major retail department chains, Macy's, Target, and Bloomingdale's have dropped Teigen's signature products from their stores, a move which Owens is taking credit for. Okay, so is this stuff true though? Like, do we know that this is real?
I don't know anything about it.
Is this real,
Literally.
John? Tell me whether this is real. John said, oh, okay, yeah, this is what I'm reading from. He put the Daily Mail article on there. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. He said if anyone looks at my history on Instagram, because I remember large parts of my 20s.
By the way,
I won't ask you why, John.
I have a problem editing myself sometimes. So I'm sure I've said a lot of things that maybe I shouldn't have said. And I hope I don't get canceled because of it.
Listen, I've never said anything like that. That's out there, and
I probably
it's kind of sort of scary. That's kind of sort of scary, especially when you have little kids. And people. And remember the woman? Oh God, that girl who was prosecuted. I can't remember what state it was for telling her boyfriend that he should kill himself, and then he actually killed himself.
Yes,
like this is for real stuff.
Yeah, I do remember that. And the problem is, I think those kind of things you really have to look at in context. That person had some mental health issues, and then the girlfriend, pushes the other person's buttons,
Right?
And maybe not with the intention of that they actually do it, but when somebody has some mental health problems and you're telling them that. But also, like, I don't know that I've ever said it. I don't think that I ever have. But like when you're just like angrier and you say, just go die, kill yourself or something, you don't necessarily mean that.
Yeah.
Not that it's any better, but it's not the same level of like where you're writing a message to somebody and telling them that they should die and go kill themselves.
I've told people to go F off. I've told people that. Y'all already know. Y'all already know about me because I'm just going to tell you what I think. I'm not going to be nasty, but like I come from that mindset of, don't come for me unless I send for you, that Real Housewives of Atlanta kind of mindset. Like, I will not bother you, but you're not going to come to me with no mess. That's what you're not going to do. So, that's what you're not. I will be peaceful, leave you alone. I made one lawyer out here cry because he came at me. So, oh well, yes, he came at me and I made him cry. And I do not feel sorry about it because as long as you stay in your lane, you're fine. So, but
I have to hear this story about you making some attorney cry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's how I got my street cred. Yeah, but look, this whole cancel culture thing, look, if people make mistakes, I'm not going to cancel somebody necessarily, but I don't think that I have to support them. I don't think I have to support them or anything they do.
Yeah, I agree with that. I've actually had this conversation with a few people sometimes, and I think we're holding people to a standard of today when 20 years ago, the standard was a little bit different. I saw that. I would have no idea what John's talking about. We've known each other for about 3 months.
John's actually really new to the whole game. No. No, he's not. No, he's not. John's an OG.
I just sent John a picture a few weeks ago. I was going to say months, but a few weeks ago of us when we were on a committee.
It was like I saw it. Y'all were so young. You were looking like spring babies.
I know. I couldn't believe it.
The time has gone.
It just goes by. Time just goes. But yeah, we're holding people to a standard of what we know today and how people have progressed today about all issues. 20 years ago was completely different. And if you did something 20 years ago, I remember when we used to go to the clubs, and if I didn't get like smacked in the butt or something, then I was like, oh, I must not look very good today. Like,
wow, like that's crazy though.
Yeah,
right. Like you straight up were molested, and it wasn't even a thought.
No,
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it is crazy.
Wow. Stephanie's not gonna tell no lies. She's not gonna tell no lies about you. Stephanie don't lie about people, John.
I couldn't keep it
Working on the
straight.
book. We can't wait for it to come out.
I know, I can't
Yeah,
wait.
no.
But isn't
But
it a
don't tell any
strange
stories about
thing?
us, John. Yeah, but no, that mindset is really interesting,
Mhm.
and I've never thought about that. But women,
Yeah,
we've been so much more enlightened to our own victimhood. Isn't it something?
right.
It's just
It's
mm,
crazy. It really is crazy because not. I'm not saying that was appropriate. Like certain ways that people would speak to ladies was not appropriate. The grabbing of the butt or the like, hey, come talk to me and pulling you in or something. Those not appropriate. But you kind of had this idea that if it wasn't happening, then oh, I didn't look my best, or whatever, my outfit wasn't on point, which is a crazy way to think about it, but that's kind of how it was then when I was in my 20s.
and look at how that dovetails with the whole victim shaming and slut shaming, where people are like, oh well, if you didn't dress like that, then you wouldn't have gotten XYZ attention, or you
Mhm.
wouldn't have been raped, or you wouldn't have been abused, or this that, and the other. And then on the other side of it is this mindset of, oh, if somebody didn't ogle me or manhandle me, then
Mhm.
I must not have looked my best. That dynamic
Uh-huh.
is amazing.
Yeah.
It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's just the progression over time of the way we think about things. I mean, women have always been objectified in that way.
So you know what? And it's true. I think I was listening to Previn and Ross the other day. I don't remember whether it was yesterday or whether it was another week, but they were talking about the juxtaposition between how women are expected to look versus how men are expected to look in a relationship or otherwise. Like, women can be like, oh, I have to diet. Oh, I have to get into my bikini. My grandmother used to always say this to me. I got to get into my bikini. She was really joking. I hope she was joking. I have to call her and ask her. I hope she was joking. Now she's actually thin enough to get into her bikini. And I told her a few weeks ago for her 92nd birthday that she might want to try it out because, hey, you only go this way
Oh, I would
once.
love that.
You only go this way once. But yeah, you think about that and you say, wow, why do we hold ourselves to this point, to this position? Look, even cutting your hair is a big thing, especially in certain communities. A woman cutting their hair to this point, or even up to here is, oh,
Mhm.
you're losing your beauty. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, nobody's going to want you. Oh, why are you?
Mhm. Yep. And it's always about appearance. It always like growing up, my mother used to tell me, make sure you don't leave the house without your earrings or your lipstick. Like you could not
Wow.
leave the house. Did what? Put your face on. You had to have. You could not leave the house, even just going to the grocery store or something. Yeah, but That's kind of what I learned. Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow. So now I'm thinking, like, am I instilling that in my daughter? Because the other day she came back from school in a totally different hairstyle. She has this 4C hair, right? That goes to the texture of your hair in Black community. This 4C hair, and I had left her with the poof because she said she wanted a big poof on her. Okay, no problem. When I came back, she had two poofs and no part. And I was like, what's going on? You look crazy. I shouldn't have told her that. Now I feel guilty. Maybe I
Oh,
shouldn't have said
sorry.
anything. Because in my household, we would have been like, I would have been completely ridiculed for having done that to my hair and
Uh-huh.
having come out looking like that. And what I said to her was, oh my gosh, like they're gonna think mommy doesn't care about you. That's the first thing. Because nobody's gonna say, oh, your dad must have done that. No, they're gonna be like, how could your mother let you leave the house? It's always mommy, man. It's always mommy.
Always. It's yeah, it's the females get the like brunt of this stuff, I think. Um yeah, I mean I'm just generalizing, but yeah, look, you would think automatically mommy didn't dress you properly or mommy didn't do your hair. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm always very, very particular about what I put her in and things like that. And because I don't want her to be, and that's the other thing. Like now my daughter, she's getting older, so I have to be careful. Like I'm not putting her in certain pants, and she can't wear certain shorts, and all of that. As long as she's not wearing a bonnet. Wait a minute.
We just had this
Shonda,
conversation. Bonnets and
Shonda,
slippers.
did you see Monique's rant? Well, it wasn't really a rant. Did you see Monique? Monique is a comedian, if nobody who's watching knows. Did you see her? I don't know whether it was a TikTok or what. No, it couldn't have been TikTok because it was too long. Maybe it was a Facebook post. And she was talking about women, Black women in particular, but she was talking about women going out into the airports with like bonnets on and pajamas and slippers. And she was saying, like, how can you want people to perceive you as being a queen if you go out in bonnets and slippers and pajamas? So now, then I had to be like going through in my mind, have I ever gone to the airport in a bonnet? I might have gone in a head wrap because Black girls wrap up their hair. I might have gone in a head wrap. And so I don't know how I feel about this. Shonda, please let me know how you feel about this.
So also, let's talk about what we were just talking about, where you're saying that we can't go out with lipstick and earrings. We have to be presentable. Like there's this image. So how does that correlate with now you can't dress down too much, but you can't dress up? Like how do you weigh that?
Right. Because you're supposed to look, well, see, when I travel, I always have because I rep Adidas. Shout out to Adidas. Please send me some stuff.
I'll take some too. I love my Adidas.
I rep y'all, but I always go with like an Adidas suit or something, or a 2-piece sweatsuit that matches, because I'm not going to come out looking crazy and you never really know who you're going to see. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We've run into people everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, you know what? I think everybody should do what makes them comfortable. But I also have judged people when I see them walking around in their pajama pants and slippers walking down through the grocery store. Because I'm like, you couldn't put on a pair of yoga pants. Those are pretty close to pajama pants anyway.
They feel the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Shonda says, I don't like the whole bonnet trend. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. I remember being a young girl walking around with my curlers. Is that the same thing? I remember being a young girl walking around with my curlers, like going down to Utica Avenue and Church, big up to Brooklyn and East Flatbush, with my curlers and stuff. Okay, so maybe I shouldn't have done that. But my hair wasn't set.
Those big fat curlers, because I used to do my hair up, straight up.
Yeah, so here, okay, so my girl Heidi says, I love my pajama pants. Okay, Heidi, I have never seen you in pajama. Wait, have I seen you in pajama pants, Heidi? I don't think so. But, so what is it, Heidi? Like, what is it about the pajamas? Because this stuff, Heidi and I think we were around the same age. I'm not sure. But this started to become a trend when I was in college, like in the 90s. And everybody would just go to class in their pajamas. And at first I thought it was just a college kid thing. And then like the high school kids started doing it.
So
she said court is from the top up.
Well, yes, now it is from the top up. Oh my God. I wonder if you can see me. These are my pajamas.
Wait, if nobody saw that, Stephanie got on pajamas, y'all. Stephanie got on pajamas. Oh, jeez. So Shonda says, it's a trend. Okay, so Shonda laughing at the pajamas. Yeah, so, I'm still a little judgy about the pajamas, though. I really am.
Yeah, I mean,
no offense, Heidi, but I'm still a little judgy about pajamas.
So I have Heidi. Have you gone out in your pajamas to like the store though, or is it just you're doing like your Zooms or something?
Yeah, have you done that? Because then I also wonder, like, did they change before they went out, or did they just walk out?
She says she absolutely goes out with them.
She said holiday pajama. Now, see, let me tell you something about Let me tell you something I know about Heidi. Right? Heidi don't play with no dag on Christmas. Like Heidi goes in with Christmas. I never look. Like I need to go get some Christmas decorations from Heidi because obviously I have completely ignored the holiday because I would just put up one tree like a day or two before and be like, bam, I done the thing. Heidi is coming out and even got holiday pajamas. Girl, you good. You killing it. Girl, that girl.
In the summer.
She said in the summer.
What? She has 6 trees.
No, she's not playing with her holiday. Like when I heard how many holiday, I didn't even know that the plastic things were called totes, like the plastic. I said, how much stuff do you have? She said she got 6 trees. Oh my goodness, girl. You need to lend me one because I don't even have the
I'm
one
with
tree.
Shonda about the not understanding the pajama pants outside.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I should just try it. I don't know. Maybe I should try it, and I don't know.
Be
Like those have to be some really fancy pajamas though, because you know how I am.
With the matching top, coordinated.
Okay. we need to have the slippers coordinate. Okay, so like if it's a Christmas ensemble, I need to have like plaid slippers.
See, I couldn't wear slippers outside for sure because we don't wear shoes in the house.
Neither do I. Yeah.
Walking outside with slippers and then wearing slippers inside would just like defeat the whole purpose for me.
So Heidi just said something that I actually think is appealing. She said, I actually think that this is appealing, Heidi. She said, usually people think you're batshit crazy and won't approach you. Now I'm starting to turn around. The wheels in my head are turning right now because that would mean that my normal, like I usually like black out my eye, like when I go to some place that I think I'm going to be recognized, like I got my glasses on, I got everything, but I might not have to do that incognito stuff.
Just throw on some pajamas. Right. You can't put any rollers in your hair, so you have to put a bonnet on then.
She said with a mask on, they can't see my resting bitch face. I have the same face.
Guilty.
Yes. And I don't know how to get rid of it. Because you know what? I don't deal with any bullshit. Like I just don't want to deal with BS. So I feel like people need to understand. Maybe it's just I don't know. Is it a part? It's just a part of me. Like I'm just please don't approach me with no nonsense.
So when we first started doing the show, we started doing these lives. I used to wear a darker shade of lipstick and I had to reach out to my friend Ray who does makeup. And I was like, I need to do something because I look like I'm an asshole, always just looking when I'm not talking and when I'm waiting for you to say something. So now I try to smile as much as I can because otherwise I'm like,
See, this is crazy. We can't even be ourselves now. We can't even be ourselves. We gotta be afraid that we're gonna look a certain what? You know what? I love these whatever conversations because
I don't know if anybody else appreciates this today, but I absolutely appreciated this today. I laughed so much.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to have a break. And like I said, we love talking about the family law stuff, but it's heavy sometimes, Mm-hmm. And you just want to talk about some BS in between all of it.
Yep.
We are getting ready to be launching something really big in the next few weeks, and we'll definitely let everybody in on what it is sooner than later. But we're going to keep you all guessing for right now. Because we can.
Maybe we'll let you know next week. Maybe not.
Wait a minute. Heidi, wait, hold up. Do you see this comment?
Mm-hmm.
I hate when especially a man says smile.
Yep.
You are so right, Heidi. Like, how do you know what's going on in my life? You do not know what's going on in my life. Suppose my house just got robbed or something. I'm just supposed to be smiling through the fact that my house got robbed? Why do people do that?
You know what? it's one of the things I started being aware of like maybe a year ago or so, when people tell little kids to smile. Because
Mm.
I was thinking, I don't remember how it came into my mind or where it came up, but people will tell little kids, how come you're not smiling? Or if they're in a picture, why aren't you happy? Why aren't you smiling? And it kind of sets this tone that means that you have to pretend you're happy all the time. And by the way, you don't have to. If you're not happy, you can be unhappy. You can, like, you don't have to smile for anybody. You're not on show. I mean, just like we don't have to wear makeup and earrings when we walk out the door. And we can wear our pajamas if we want to in the store. But I think that's exactly when you people learn that when they're very young. And one of my relatives on their Facebook post, someone said, "There, oh, how come I never see your daughter smile?" Oh, he lost it on that person, and I was like, "Thank you. I'm not the only one that recognizes this." So
Wow.
yes, Heidi, it doesn't mean you have to smile all the time. And I hate when people do say, "Why aren't you smiling?"
Smiling doesn't equal happiness. That's true.
No,
Sometimes people smiling is going to equal something totally different than that. I mean, so that's
people
very
have
true.
some evil smiles.
Some people do. And you know what? I'm thinking about this. My grandmother, who's 92, though, she would always say, life is a live stage, doll. Life is a live stage. And she would always tell me to have a smile on my face. Now, what I realize is that sometimes if I'm walking somewhere, especially when we were in court all the time, and I would be going downtown, I would always sometimes I would catch myself because I would have a smile on my face. But I
Mhm.
think it really was just because I was genuinely happy. And I don't know what I would be thinking about at the time. But my grandmother would always say that to me, and it would make me feel as though I had to put on an act. And so it's an interesting concept because you definitely, and shout out to my grandma, she is the bomb, she's the best. And sometimes that advice is actually very good advice because I think she was coming from always have a poker face, like don't let anybody realize on your face what you're thinking. And
Mhm.
sometimes that can be something that keeps you safe,
Yeah, that's true.
you know? And
Mhm.
it's actually a good trait for a lawyer to have too, especially if you're a litigator, you know? But but yeah, it's an interesting concept to think about, but it goes hand in hand with that thing of, oh, give your cousin a hug, give your uncle a hug. When the
Mhm.
kids don't want to give the uncle a hug, kids are really good. They determine very quickly who they can trust and who they can't trust and who they want to be around and who they don't want to be around.
Mhm.
And so I'm not telling anybody to in my none of my kids, oh, give that person a hug.
Right. By the way, that's also something that has completely changed from like 20 years ago, even 10 years ago.
Very true.
Mhm. I
It's very
also
true.
also with COVID, I think that people have now reclaimed their personal space a little more, because sometimes you feel obligated. You go into a room and you feel like you have to hug someone, give them kisses on the cheeks and all of that. So with COVID, you were like able to be like, I'm not hugging anybody, I'm not touching anybody. And I think maybe we've been able to reclaim some of that.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think that's probably a safe. Oh yeah, so Heidi says her kids never slept out for that reason. There was something recently. I don't know whether you heard about it, where
I did, yeah.
this father was. They were looking for this father because he raped two little girls
At a
that slept over at
sleepover.
his house.
Hmm.
His daughter's little friends. So my mom never really let me sleep out unless it was people that we really really knew, like her best friend's daughter would sleep over at my house and I would sleep over at her best friend's house. But I never really slept out. I think I can only remember one slumber party that I went to,
Hmm.
that wasn't at that particular person's house. And I don't remember liking a slumber party. Nothing happened to me. I just don't remember particularly liking doing it. And so if my daughter asks me, "Oh, can I sleep over this one's house?" I'm like, "No, no, you can't." I don't even think about it. It's just automatic. No, you can't.
No, you can't.
If it's an aunt or something like that, her god sisters, there she can go. But otherwise, no,
Yeah.
no, not into it. It's not a
Yeah.
thing at our house.
I was the fifth in line, so I pretty much got to go and do some stuff. My mom would just tell me to be back when the street lights are out. I on my bike like a hooligan.
Listen, I grew up in East Flatbush, so I really wasn't. Look, like there was bodies down the street and stuff. People getting knocked off of buildings, like so. I really wasn't trying to go to many places unless it was outside of the neighborhood. But you know what? Even growing up in the hood, I always felt otherwise safe. Like I wasn't doing drugs, so I wasn't going to be like a part of any kind of drug deal gone wrong or anything.
Right.
But like people in the neighborhood always knew me and they would like watch out for me and things like that. So I appreciated growing up in the hood. It's actually it's one of my regrets of not being able to let my daughter know what it's like to grow up in the inner city, because my daughter will never know. Like as many times as she goes, she's like, "Oh, Manhattan! Oh, I want to go to Manhattan." Like, yo, you didn't know Manhattan in the '80s when I was growing up, but nobody was trying to be on Times Square.
Doll store. That's where she wants.
Right? She's trying to go to the American Girl store. She doesn't know.
No, but also the neighbors would report on you if you were doing something you shouldn't. So when my parents let me just go about, it wasn't that they didn't know what was going on. They probably knew.
Yes, because I remember one time I came back home from Flatbush, and my mom was like, "So, how was your day? What happened? Where'd you go?" I'm like, "Oh, everything was fine. I went nowhere." She was like, "So then why were you on Flatbush Avenue?" I was like, "What? Wait, how did you know I was on Flatbush Avenue?" Because our neighbor told her that I was on Flatbush and I had no business being on Flatbush. No business whatsoever. I wasn't doing anything wrong per se, but I wasn't supposed to be there. So,
right.
And that's something that like we don't even know our neighbors now to tell them, "Hey, we saw your kid doing blah, blah, blah." And even if you did, you're liable to get cursed out.
Yep. Mind your own business.
Mind your business. That's not your kid. What do you care? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I miss that about that whole the community giving a crap about what was going on. And I think that is something that has really been eroded. And I don't know whether that's because, I don't know why, whether it's because of social media or what it is. Brooklyn taught me how to be street smart and aware of my surroundings and to listen to that little, yes, it's true. BK all day. Love Brooklyn. Love Brooklyn. But yeah, it's true. Like kids these days are not street smart. I had to take the bus to the mall. Like kids these days, "Oh, mommy, can you drive me to the mall?"
I think I told you. Yeah, I told you last week when I had to take the bus to the mall because that's where I worked. I got my from work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's it's just very different. And even if you have little kids in your neighborhood, you hardly ever see them. Do you see any kids in your neighborhood?
Yeah, we have some kids that play out front because there's 2 houses that have kids, so they go meet each other outside. But that's not very often. It's just right here in front of their houses. It's not like they're wandering down the street or anything.
Right, like we would go around and then we would have Mr. Softy. Like to this day, I will still stop for a Mr. Softy truck. We would have Mr. Softy and this and the other. We would run after the Mr. Softy trucks, and like wherever the truck landed, that's where we were. And we didn't have to stay in front of our house. So Heidi says that her son Alex cried the first time on the subway because he was scared. What was he scared of? What was he scared of? Oh, poor Alex. What was he scared of? I remember taking the subway, and I was like 12, taking the subway, and there was a flasher on the subway. I was scared out of my mind. It was like the J train or the L train in Brooklyn. And I was going to school. Yo, I hightailed it so fast out of there. Yeah, that's growing up in the city. It's a lot. There's a lot of things. Anyway, we have been talking for 50 minutes. We hope that you guys enjoyed our conversation. If you didn't, please let us know. Please let us know. If you did, please let us know.
And we do. We like to talk about our divorce and family law topics, but sometimes we need to break ourselves.
Yeah, we do. And so the reason why Alex was scared is because he was born in Howell in New Jersey farmland, so the noise was overwhelming. I could get that. The subway is loud. The
I
subway
can
is
get
very
that.
loud. Yeah,
And
I
it's
could get
fast
that.
moving, like fast paced. You have to get on and get off, and yeah.
I haven't been in the subway in forever though. Like I feel like I need to take a subway ride, except that I'm a little bit afraid because people keep getting knocked over into the train tracks and I'm not trying to be a victim, but
There's
listen.
no slashers right now. Like that's a
Yes.
thing. It's crazy. I'm like, well, how is that a thing?
Yeah. I don't know how that's I don't know. There's just way too much going on. But anyway, thanks for watching,
Bye.
Shonda, John, Heidi, whoever else was watching it, because we saw you, but y'all didn't make comments. We see you. Thanks for watching.
See you next Thursday.
Next week. Bye.